All right, so tell me your full name and where you're from.
Benjamin Malloy.
Malloy, and you're from?
Originally from Los Angeles, been in Dallas for 15 years.
Outstanding. And tell me, Ben, what was life like before you began working with us?
Well, I would say that it wasn't quite as interesting. Now it seems to be more interesting. Having a trainer, having the accountability of a trainer has changed a lot of things. And as we talked a little bit previously, the training part is about 15% of it.
Yep.
And the balance is all making the decision to change the way you eat and the way you live on a daily basis, because the trainer's only here an hour most, but you've got the other 23 on your own to deal with. And that was the biggest change. That was the most difficult, and now that's become much easier day by day. But you've got to think about it every day.
Absolutely. And what was your, from a fitness standpoint, from a health standpoint, what made you finally come to the decision that you needed to make a change?
Well, I've always been a fairly big guy. In high school and college, I was in good shape. And then now that I'm in my mid-50s, and there's that whole baby boom generation that's been there, and you let yourself go. And it doesn't happen overnight. It creeps up over many, many, many years. And what was changed in my life is that I didn't necessarily feel so bad, but I had an elderly parent pass away. And for me, that was the realization that if I don't start taking better care of myself, I was next in line. There is a big scheme in the world, and whenever your parents are still there, you always feel you have that shield. So when he passed away at an elderly age, and I felt that now was time, I have responsibility, I still have a family, and I have a business that I need to take care of myself and spend more time. And I will tell you that even today, every time I know my trainer's going to show up, I can think of 100 reasons why I don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
But the only reason I do it is because I need to take care of my health. So, but that was a major life change when someone passed away. As we talked also, is no one can make you do it. There isn't a doctor, there isn't a family member, everybody can tell you, but you've got to get to that place where you decide it's time to make a change. And once you do that, it's easier once you've come to that place, and then you just move on from there. But you've got to come to that decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. And had you tried other ways to try to lose weight and get in shape before we started working with you?
Absolutely. I mean, as we said, I've gone on every kind of diet there's been. There's the low carb, the high carb, the protein, the Atkins, the grapefruit diets, the West Palm and the South Beach, and I am now more of not going on diets whatsoever, because diets have that kind of connotation that it's some finite point. You're going to do a diet and then move on, and what it is just really a whole change in the way you're eating. So I've tried it all over the last few years, but the only thing that's succeeded now is really a whole life change.
Absolutely, not just one thing over the other.
Right.
Great.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the results that you achieved going through our program here over the last 12 to 14 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how much weight have you lost in that period?
Right now it's between 37 and 40 pounds. The weight obviously fluctuates based on how much water I'm drinking on a daily basis and what day, but I would say between that 35 and 40 pounds.
And how about your, from a health standpoint, cholesterol, blood pressure, what's happened there?
Before I started this, I was on the Lipitor, which is a fantastic drug. I don't put that down, but my cholesterol was high. And now my doctor suggested I get off the cholesterol meds, and so he's been testing me over the last few months. My blood pressure was high because of my high weight. My blood pressure is back to a normal level. And also, the one thing that I've always tested for, which in my family has been an issue, is diabetes. And with the drop in weight, because I do have this propensity to diabetes because of family, my doctor's also telling me now the odds of getting it have been reduced by multiples. So for me, that's the long-term effect that's been good.
That's great. How about body composition? What has your waist done and your clothes and stuff?
Well, there's the good side and the bad side to that, and everybody needs to understand. The good side is that I went from a 50 chest, and I've dropped down to about a 44, and I had a 42 waist, and I've dropped to a 36, and now I probably won't drop too much more, but be prepared to spend some money on clothes, because you just cannot alter clothes. And that's been the good part. I mean, obviously it's fun to be able to shop. I would suggest anybody getting into this, don't get too excited on the first size change. You just, you have to live with the same 3 or 4 shirts for a while and a couple pairs of pants, because you will change really fast.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you think, well, I can get into a little smaller, you go out and buy all that. But that's been a good thing. And obviously, one of the other parts of dropping the weight is the compliments you get from other people. So that's been a good thing.
Great. And what would you say life is like now as a result of achieving some of these goals and getting into the lifestyle of the health and fitness?
Well, and being in the business world, any type of accomplishment, any goal you hit is a nice benchmark. It makes you feel good. Obviously, if you look good, you look better, you feel better. But certainly setting some types of goals, whatever they are, and they, as you know, we set some very modest goals to start, and we flew through those. But hitting those goals makes you feel a sense of accomplishment, and whether it's in your training or your personal life, you do need to have those goals. So it's been a terrific experience. And I will say that as we spoke, it's a little bit 2 for 1. My wife has worked out. She prefers a club that she's been to for 4 years, and she has lost no weight in 4 years. And within the last 4 months that we've been on this program, she's dropped 20 pounds, because I will tell you, no one can do this unless their spouse or their companion is on board with the same thing. You cannot have one person eating one thing and one another. You have to shop together. You have to have the same mindset. And you do get that byproduct of 2 for 1, because the spouse also gets the advantage of your new eating habits.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And what would you say to someone that may be on the fence about getting help from a fitness professional with their health and fitness?
Well, as we talked earlier too, you have to get to that place where you want to do it. The other thing is that having someone to be accountable to makes all the difference. And I'm hoping that I will get to a place somewhere in the future where I can go and back in my little workout room and be able to push myself to that point that I get pushed by my fitness instructor. But not having that, I know that I go back there and I don't do half as well. So it's essential in the beginning, you have to have that person there. And they know exactly how far to push you to. And that's also a danger in the beginning. If you don't know what you're doing, you can really hurt yourself badly. And I can see that would be a problem for me, because I probably, knowing my personality, would have pushed myself to the part where I could have injured myself. So it's not only the mental part, it's also the physical part of having someone who really knows what they're doing, because you're playing with body parts that you've never played with before. And I know from people that have had back injuries and other things that those can be life-changing in the wrong way too. So it's very, very important that you have a fitness professional that watches you. And as I say, he pushes me to where I want to just yell at him, but he also stops me as soon as he sees I've gone to the edge of where he doesn't want me to go anymore. So it's very, very important.
Absolutely. Well, that is great. We are really very excited about your results. You did a great job over the last few months, and you're going to continue to do that.
Appreciate it.
So keep plugging away.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Ben.